You mentioned good weather for people to get to the polls. We popped into a few local polling locations today. Poll workers tell us the stream of voters has been pretty consistent. When we asked voters what brought them to the polls today, nearly everyone told us issue 1 is what is important to them.
Well, we will soon learn the results of arguably the most controversial item on the ballot, polarizing all across the state. Issue 1 has to do with constitutional protections when it comes to abortions. The topic has split opinions, and it could be a close race when it comes to the end of things. Kaylee Marentet, she will be covering the issue 1 race for us tonight. And Kaylee joining us now live. So what exactly should those last-minute voters think or know at this point?
Yeah, Jeff, it took a lot of resources talking with attorneys and reading to fully understand both sides of the opposing issue and the scope of concerns if it does or does not pass. What it comes down to is pro-life advocates say this amendment just goes too far for Ohioans, with concerns that it would allow abortions up to the 9th month of pregnancy if the mother's life is at risk, and that the word individual in the ballot could mean minors when it comes to reproductive procedures. For those who are pro-choice, they believe access to abortion shouldn't be a government decision and could put a woman's life at risk if they can't get to an abortion by a healthcare provider. But first, what is the basics of this issue?
Issue 1 is to enshrine reproductive health care in the Ohio Constitution. And that includes abortion, but it also includes contraception, miscarriage care, fertility treatment. So it's not just about abortion, it's about a lot of different kinds of health care.
We've got more coverage coming up tonight at 6 and 11. You'll hear from an attorney about why there are so many different interpretations of what issue 1 does, and also what voters had to say after they cast their ballot. Reporting live in West Toledo, Kaylee Marentet, WTOL 11.
The other big one is issue 2, and that is regarding recreational marijuana. It's another hot button issue on the ballot tonight. Michael Sandlin's been following this issue for weeks. So Mike, you've been talking to voters. What's dividing people on this issue?
Well, Melissa, supporters say that issue 2 is going to end a decades-long prohibition on a substance that we already sell medically here in the state. And they say it's going to give the state some kickback money in the process. But opponents say that issue 2 is going to increase crashes on our roadways and give easier access to kids to a mind-altering substance. A mind-altering substance that opponents say has been shown to have adverse mental health effects. But let's take a look at the actual language of the ballot. If passed, the measure would legalize recreational dispensaries, allowing adults 21 and over to buy and possess up to 2.5 ounces of cannabis and to grow plants at home. It also placed a 10% tax on every sale, and the ballot text estimates this would net well north of hundreds of millions of dollars a year in additional state money. It also clarifies that landlords can continue to prohibit the drug if they so choose, and of course driving under the influence will remain a crime, as well as any use by passengers in the car as well. For marijuana proponents like Sean Nestor, Toledo local who helped get marijuana decriminalized back in 2015, he says issue 2 is the natural next step after 23 other states have legalized the drug. But marijuana legalization opponents like State Rep Josh Williams say there are still multiple concerns to consider before we put another mind-altering substance into our society.
23 states all over the United States have adopted marijuana legalization efforts. The sky hasn't fallen. In fact, in many cases, a lot of medical benefits a lot of people have benefited medically, as well as the governments themselves have benefited financially for tax revenue.
What we've seen in other states is an increase in OVI charges for marijuana. Individuals will believe that since marijuana is legal that they could drive while using it, and that's not the case. The idea that recreational marijuana will be able to be grown inside of the home where kids are going to be able to have easy access to it and it will be unregulated is kind of an issue for me.
Coming up tonight at 6 p.m., we'll hear more perspectives on this issue, hearing from someone who works at a local CBD center who's looking forward to putting marijuana on his shelf. We'll also hear from a local county sheriff who's dreading the increase in car crashes. Reporting in East Toledo, I'm Michael Sandlin for WTOL 11.
There are also 8 school districts in our area asking voters for money, and that includes Perrysburg Schools, which is looking to build a new elementary school and add more classrooms to its existing buildings.
Our team coverage continues tonight. Kaylee Kirby joining us live in studio with more on the district's bond issue. Kaylee?
Yeah, Jeff, Melissa, Perrysburg Schools is looking to approve a $140 million bond issue over 36 years. The superintendent, Tom Hostler, says the number of students in the district is outpacing the number of seats they have, and he says it's happening at every grade level. Hostler says this is due to Perrysburg being a destination district, and it constantly gets high markings from the state on student performance. He says the overcrowding is in the high school and elementary schools, and the principal at Fort Meigs Elementary is past capacity. He says it's using portables to house their students.
We're pushing 600 kids here, so when they all get here and they all arrive, some go out there. We've got our safety measures in place there, but it's not ideal, but it's something that we've dealt with, and I think our students are accustomed to as well, but we're out of space out there as well.
People against the issue say their concern is the increase in Wood County's property taxes, which would increase what they pay to the district. It's estimated the owner of a home valued at $250,000 would be paying more than $500 a year if it passes. In studio tonight, Kaylee Kirby, WTOL 11.
Well, make sure you have the WTOL 11 News app downloaded so you can get alerts as those results come into our newsroom tonight.